Hi everyone, this is Teresah Lynn, the imprint coach, and I'm here with Tiffany T. And we are doing the Soul Search show every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And we welcome anybody, any guests, to come on our show and ask a question. Tiffany's into numerology and higher awareness and wisdom, inner wisdom. And I am a soul coach and an imprint coach, helping you with life purpose questions or any questions that you have on your mind. So I can do cards and help you answer questions through cards. It's not card reading like tarot, but it is helping you gain insight into your soul's wisdom. And yeah, is there anything you'd like to add, Tiffany? Hi.
Hi. Oh, you do a great job as always. Yeah, so thank you for tuning in, everybody. We're so excited that you're here and really looking forward to spending the next hour with you. And yeah, Teresah, you basically covered all the bases. Basically covered the bases. The tongue twister. Right. So, then also, forgot to tell you earlier, do you want to go ahead and share a little bit of our background, each of us, to kind of maybe paint a picture so people can get to know us a little bit better and know kind of who we are and what we're doing?
Sure, sounds good. Awesome. Yeah, maybe we could even, shorten it into a sentence or two. Do you want to go first? Go ahead.
Well, during doing this show, my passion and my purpose in life is to wake you up to your human potential. Everybody, I think I know, or at least for me, that everyone is capable of living to their highest potential and living out their passions and pursuing their dreams and really making this life joyful in every single way. And so I like to inspire and empower people to pursue that, to figure out their purpose and participate in their passions and basically just wake up to the infinite conscious beings that we all are. So I just came to find that out not too long ago, actually, and I'm still doing my journey, which it's always going to be for the rest of my life. But I had gone through a really, really tough time, back in 2012, and just went through a rough road for a while and had a lot of loss and a lot of devastation. And I went through a whole entire process, literally from being on, the ground bottom. Hi, Joe. Thanks for joining us. To being on rock bottom to now being able to be aware. And I think awareness is the most important thing in life. To me, it could be different for you guys, but self-awareness is key. And at least being able to be aware in the aspect to where you're noticing things. You notice things about yourself. You're able to notice things and then learn and grow from them. So that's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I don't only do Soul Search, but I do the Gratitude Show as well as Blab. And then I also have a book coming out at the end of the summer that I got to co-author with Jack Canfield, and just a lot of really cool, amazing things. My passion project, Tiffany Teeworld, and just being able to work with people in that element of awareness and higher consciousness. So, and then I met Teresah, I think it was the beginning of the year. And I loved her from day one. And yes, I think she's amazing. So I'm really glad and grateful that we're able to do this together. Okay, your turn. Thanks for joining us, by the way, Joe. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Teresah.
No, that's great. Sure. So my background is, right in high school, it's farming and construction. Then I went into, I was a preschool teacher for a long time. And then after a period of time, I decided to switch everything up, and I started to really look at what my life purpose was about. And since meeting Tiffany here, I've never really dabbled in numerology before. She's quite an expert in the field. And Tiffany, I haven't told you yet, but I just bought a book on your life purpose based on your life path number.
Oh yeah, awesome.
So, right, it was really, really interesting. So I'm still reading it, and I'm a 1/1. And it's like this, I guess, a master level of some sort. So what I recognize is that my purpose totally was in alignment with the numerology thing, because it's like creative or innovative creativity in service to others. I was like, yeah, that's what I've always been doing, whether I've been a preschool teacher or anything that I do in my life, whether it's, putting on games for people or putting on a course for people. It's always like, I want to invent something new and innovative that hasn't really been done before. Excuse my itchy nose. That hasn't really been done before. And what I find is most important ever since I was a little girl is that it is always in service for others. It doesn't matter what I'm creating, whether it's art or anything. It's always in service to others. It started off in service to my Barbie dolls, and now I'm graduated to the human world. So welcome, Joe, and nice to have you on our show. And if you have any questions and you want to come on and join us on the screen here with us, we listen company. And if you have any questions, we can help you with.
Okay, so I have a question for Joe. So it says you're an angel investigator. Can you elaborate on that? Because angel investor, I'm sorry. I'm just now learning what angel investors are, and I think that's a really cool concept. That's awesome. I mean, that's not the only thing that, obviously, entrepreneur and venture capitalist, but
entrepreneur.
I didn't even know that angel investors existed, and I was. When I was doing that campaign for the people in Lake Isabella that had their houses burned down and everything, I started learning about it. But investigator, yeah. I wrote on the notes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he just typed in angel investors fund businesses earlier than venture capitalists.
I thought it was something like, okay, so isn't it kind of anonymous or... maybe my understanding of it is a little bit different.
So I guess what the difference is that an angel, no, not really, it's very capitalistic. Yeah, so, I guess, if you're a venture capitalist, you want to invest on something that's kind of more proven. And then angel investor would probably be taking more chances, getting in earlier on the idea. I imagine that's what he meant by getting in on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you meant, Joe?
Okay. Where are you at? Just out of curiosity, where are you calling from?
Yeah.
It's
Southern
California. Me too. I'm in San Diego. That's awesome. So, Teresah, I love the fact that you are learning about this book according to your life purpose, because you are a master number. You're an 1111, and it's crazy because it really does. It is in alignment. I mean, everything that I've done of 16 years of research, and I'm like overly. I guess overly OCD about it. I do all my research because if I am to believe something, I need to have evidence. I need to have facts. I need to see it in black and white. It's not like I have maybe I have trust issues. I don't know what it is, but so year after year of ordering my reports and everything, and I've tried out various services, and haven't really had a wrong one, but it's so enlightening to see that it is factual. So every single month I'll go back and analyze my month and then analyze my year. Like, for example, this year is one of my 5 years. I was so scared because a 5 year is like, everything is going to change. Like, so get prepared, like buckle your seatbelt, and like a lot of changes in the horizon. So it's been crazy because I'm like, yeah, right now, like my 4 year last year was like all about learning and growing and spiritual, whatever. And that's exactly true. But this year, everything has changed, literally everything. And it's so funny. Like, I'm just such in awe all the time, like how it proves right all the time. So I'm grateful that I have that tool for, bringing more awareness into my life, because, I'm an advocate for that. So Joe, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, Tiffany and Joe, what are your life path number? What is yours, Tiffany?
I'm a 7. I'm the faith seeker. I'm here to teach people about stuff like this. Right. Hi, Ellis. Thank you so much for coming on and visiting us. I was going to say, Joe, where in Southern California are you? Ellis is in LA too. So. And then Ellis was wanting to tell his story about Mother Teresa when we didn't have enough time the other day, or I think we're having like complications coming on. So you're more than welcome to do that as well.
Hi,
and
Alice.
if you guys don't know your numerology number or life path, I would love to enlighten you on it. And then also, Teresah, if you have anything that you need more guidance on, you too, Joe. Then go ahead and feel free to come on.
It just says Joe might have to leave. So
yeah, that's fine. Have a great night as well.
Mm-hmm.
Alice, I'm curious to know what life path you are. I'm assuming, let's see. I would definitely guess you have an 8 in there somewhere, but you're too nice for an 8. No, I mean that with love. What's your number? I mean, what's your number? What's your birthday? Like your full birthday, too. Cool. Okay. Let me see. I always have to use a calculator because I don't like to get it wrong, and I'm not able to do math that fast in my head.
Alice is
He's a 9. Oh, the humanitarian. That's why I said you seem too nice to me, because he's always doing something to benefit other people. Yeah. They're like the philanthropists of all. They're the most evolved number in numerology out of all the numbers, but they're really caring, giving. They are here to love and give back, and in any way that they can. They're really nurturing parents. However, pretty much they don't let their kids get out of line. They raise really good kids typically. And 9s are all about just loving and giving back and bringing people together in any way that they know how. You're probably a really good, your atmosphere is like, or your environment is really important to you, because that's how the element you get into decompress and dissect and analyze and stuff. So, but yeah, do you want to come on and share with us your Mother Teresa story? Because Teresah hasn't heard it. I'm sure she would love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are recording, so I'm sure everybody who watches the replays would love to hear it too. Let's see.
Jesus, my. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
FBI USA.
That's Alice. So Alice is going to come on and share with us his Mother Teresa story, which is just super, super cool. Hey, you. How you doing?
Hey, Tiffany. Hi, Teresah.
Hi.
Hi.
Have you met Tiffany before?
I think I saw the show, but then I had like technical difficulties, and I couldn't share my story last time, so apologize. I got a weird like light on my head. It's for my lines. Hold on.
Oh, no worries. So how was your vacation without the kids and stuff?
Good, you remembered. Yeah, it's been nice, but I certainly miss them. But it's been nice. It's really been a good time to kind of treat myself to having a lot of focus and kind of alone time, kind of a discovery time for myself.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, so the Mother Teresa story, I don't know how it occurred to me and why it came up. I think there was a discussion about clarity, and that's what kind of prodded me to think of the story. And I'm not exactly sure where I heard it, but when I did hear it, it really resonated with me, because a lot of my life has been around the theme of clarity, always wanting clarity, always seeking it. And so the story goes like this. It was a gentleman by the name of John Kavanaugh, who's a very famous, I think he's called an ethicist. So he goes to Calcutta, and he goes to work in one of Mother Teresa's establishments there. You know, basically it's like a hospice. So it's really about showing compassion for people that are surely going to die. And he was working there for 3 months, and the place was called the House of the Dying. And when he finally met Mother Teresa, and she said, "Well, you've been working here for so long. What can I do for you?" And then he asked her, well, can you pray for me? And then she said, okay, well, what would you want me to pray for? And then he said, Mother Teresa, pray that I have clarity. That's what I would like, clarity. And so Mother Teresa paused for a bit and said, no, I will not do that. And it was, really puzzling. Why would Mother Teresa not grant him that request? And he said, well, Mother Teresa, why won't you pray for clarity? And she said, clarity is the last thing that you are clinging to and that you must let go of. And he said, well, Mother Teresa, it always seems to me that you always have clarity. And she laughed and she said, I have never had clarity. What I have always had is trust. So I will pray that you trust God. So, whether or not, God can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but the major theme here is that, releasing the need for clarity before you proceed, and then going forward with the energy of trust. And I think Adam was talking about this, and it occurred to me about, for me to help understand a lot of things, I put things on kind of a template called what I call the fear and love continuum. So I always ask myself, where am I in this continuum? Am I in fear or am I in love? So when I thought about clarity, something Adam said, I said, well, clarity is that a representation of fear of making a mistake? Because having clarity hopefully will eliminate anything that I do that is not clear. But having trust is the release of fear and more into love. And I thought about that, and it just really, and it's still kind of been stirring around in my thoughts, and I think there's a lot to it. At least that's what it means, a lot to me. So one of my elements of my work is to release the need for clarity, or the desire, mainly the desire for clarity, and replacing it with trust.
That's deep.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's the whole Mother Teresa thing, and I'm going to try to remember where I heard the story, but I just love that story.
I did too. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
What do you think? You like it?
Well, I'm just getting a lot of echoing from Tiffany and myself, so I log back here.
Is that better? No.
Oh. If she jumps off and jumps back on, it might.
Yeah. Well, I love that you brought that up because it kind of so deep to grasp and really understand because I mean we have to sit there and ponder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's cool because when it resonates with you, it's like it's something that you don't even explain. The difference between clarity and trust and plays in that level. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome. And it's something that I really, I'm really grateful for, to have those types of questions. That's one thing that I'm very grateful for, because it really, I think those are kind of like signposts in my life. And, they come along for a reason, and kind of help recalibrate my compass from time to time.
I kind of. No, I'm still getting a lot of.
Okay, wait. I'm going to go ahead and speak that.
How about now? Do you hear a lot of echo, Teresa, or is it was it mainly from Tiffany? Or is it from myself?
No, I hear my own. Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, a lot of technical issues with Blab.
Yeah.
Is it better?
No, it's the same.
Sometimes if you try muting one of us and then see if one of us is causing it, and maybe that, depending on our systems. So if you mute me, maybe it.
I just muted Tiffany, and I still hear my own echo.
Oh, okay.
I can hear it too.
Okay, I mute. When I mute myself, can you talk, Tiffany, to see if you're still echoing?
I can hear it on mine. Echo.
Yeah.
Ellis, are you muted on purpose?
Can you hear me okay?
Well, it's a little bit better.
Oh, it stopped. Yay. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so what I was saying too is that, Tiffany was talking earlier, it's like taking, imperfect action and not waiting for things to be perfect, not waiting for things to be clear before you start taking action, and just live more in the moment, trust, playful, joyful energy. And I think I have to do that a lot too, because I don't have exactly clarity in what I want to create or do all the time. And when I go into I need clarity, you're instantly out of creativity. Creativity just goes out the door. So does love and joy, because you're searching for something that you need. And every time you're pulling in things that you need, you're at a very lower vibration level. And when you're outputting things from joy and love and creativity, then it's just such a high vibrational level, and clarity just isn't one of those high vibrations.
Yeah, Ellis, can you hear Ellis? Okay.
So I always thought that clarity was something that had high value, and now that I've kind of seen it from different perspectives, I can see how it's a lower vibration. Not to call anything bad or good, or to have judgment on it, but just to acknowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's not when I think about it, even just now, clarity can actually be a high vibration if it goes, okay, now I'm clear about my decision, and that feels really good. So I guess, yeah.
Perhaps it's a byproduct. Perhaps clarity is a byproduct of trust, and it's.
That's really interesting.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, that maybe there's some sort of order to it where maybe the pursuit with truth and love and joy, and then the side benefit is clarity. But if you try to lead with clarity, like you said, it becomes a lower vibration and doesn't quite deliver the gifts that going forward with joy.
When I think about it, whenever I'm wanting to be clear on something first, it's like I'm wanting to have control in some way, which I'm not just being. When I think I experience so much more joy when I can just be and let everything unfold, instead of trying to control and form and shape and make something happen that I have no control over to begin with anyways, because you can't control anything. People, places, and things. The only thing we have control over is ourselves, and that's really enlightening. Never really thought about it like that before.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the notion of clarity, I think it's a powerful thing if you use it in the context of being a clear communicator, like being very clear about your communication and your purpose. But I think the notion of clarity of knowing if it's the quote unquote right thing or ideal thing, maybe that's not quite the pursuit that is as.
That makes sense. I just totally forgot what I was going to ask. I'm getting unclear here. There's something related to you, Teresah. Have you, Ellis, heard of Teresah's soul guidance or soul journey deck?
No, I haven't.
Do you want to explain to him a little bit about what it is, Teresah? Because it's super cool. This is how we met.
Yeah, Joe, have you heard of? Sorry, I'm starting to echo again. That's better. Have you heard of tarot cards or oracle cards or angel cards?
Oh yes.
Right. So what I've done is I've taken the basic concept of that, and instead of doing tarot or oracle, I've come up with personal growth cards. So each card has a topic related to spirituality or psychology or different personal growth issues and topics. And so when you're needing clarity about anything in your life, clarity again, or if you're needing answers or direction or anything like that, I use my cards in order to awaken wisdom within you.
I find that
I love them because
really
oh, sorry, go ahead,
tool,
Ellis.
because I know many times when I'm not when I'm not feeling in the right kind of flow, sometimes just a mere suggestion of some quote or some story or it hits me at a different in a different way, in a different angle, because if I'm too twisted up in my own brain, it doesn't allow me to really receive other messages or other gifts that.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Guidance
More on like
figure out your inner awareness.
is that me again?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. What did you?
What did I say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just echoing right now. So the echo's gone. I can hear.
I think Ellis.
There's this buzzing noise.
Yeah, Ellis, are you going mute and then unmute when you're
Yeah,
talking?
I'm trying that to see if that helps.
Okay.
I don't know if it's helping or not. If it's affecting the.
Yeah, it does help when you're muted.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's see. Cliff just did the same thing. So, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, by the way, Cliff. It's nice to have you with us. Hope you had a great week and a great 4th of July. Teresah, how was the Independence Day? And
I think this might have been the first in my life so far that I missed it. Yeah. Missed all the celebrations. I was looking and caring for my mother after surgery. So
yeah.
no fireworks, parade.
You know, we didn't do fireworks either. We saw a little bit of them, but we were supposed to stay on the boat. But we just decided to come back early.
So just a question for Cliff. Cliff, do you know what show you're on? Do you know what we're about? I'll just let you type in the answer there. Sure. Not sure what show you do. You know Cliff?
Oh, I've seen the mayor a few times.
Oh, okay.
On Blab.
Okay. He's the mayor?
Nice guy.
Great. So you know,
no, he's
a question for us, Cliff, or would you like to come on the show? Perhaps you can think of one thing in your last week that you were like, oh, that didn't quite go as I planned. We could even work on that one thing that didn't go just perfectly great. Or maybe something in the week to come. Okay, just listening, thanks.
So what did you think about Ellis's perspective? Like, wasn't that so cool?
That story, yeah, about Mother Teresa was amazing.
Hi, ladies.
Yeah, hi. So nice to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, ditto. It's a pleasure to be in your company. So it's interesting. You were asking a moment ago, Teresah, about things that may not have gone well last week or not. And I'm kind of an interesting case when it comes to these laws of energy and frequency and attraction and so on, or whatever you want to put a label on them, is that over the last 5 years or so, especially over the last 5 years, I've been amazingly blessed with good energy coming back to me after I just am heck bent on sending out just positive energy. So yeah, things happen, life comes, and waves, and things happen that we don't have any control over. But those things that we do, including our reaction to these things that occur around us in the world, or directly to us, or our family or friends, or so forth. Orlando shooting. I mean, all of these things happen, and even though they're at arm's distance, they do have an imprint, and they do have an impact. And what do you do with that? How do you handle the small things, the bigger things, the things that at a distance, but they're huge? And it really, what I do is I end up, if I can't engage someone on a blab or something like that, or in person and so forth, and have a conversation around what is, or what could be, or what could come from these events, then it's more of just taking it in and then turning it into just more positive energy out to the world. That's the way that I do things, and it really works out well. I'm a great case for this this law of attraction thing, and that it works really well for me and those people around me, and I end up kind of emanating and spreading that just by being in that energy, in that frequency. And a lot of people you don't talk to that way. You guys I can talk to, and right. In terms of that, or of course you get Dr. Corey, and then he goes off on his frequency thing. It's like, do you really know what you're talking about?
He does, though. It's so deep.
No,
I don't understand.
But he's just so cheesy sometimes. God love him. Yeah. But I really I embrace all of this, and that's why they know me as the mayor around here, and because I earned that. I didn't come in and create this self-anointing title or anything. I first started as blab evangelist, and then they said, you're kind of like the mayor of this community. It's not only was I here a lot, but I also was in a position where I ended up being a moderator, mediator, mayoral activities around the blab. So, and I enjoy that. I really do. And thank you for one vote of confidence over there. But it's really it's what I'm here to do in this world, and it just happens to be the blab is a great place for me to do it. And I've never done it on Periscope. That's one to many and all of that jazz, because the impetus for me and my place in this world, I figured out over the last 10 months in being here, is to help groups move forward, to have them coalesce, to have them communicate and connect in ways that they're not used to doing. And blab is a perfect example of where we need to go. And that's why I get on my blab soapbox, that we as humanity and as living, breathing things on the planet and the planet itself, we need to come together outside of the nonsense of banks and corporations and money and greed and power and all that nonsense. And this is a perfect platform to start that. And so that's why I get so excited about blab. That's why people kind of look up and say, whoa, he's always kind of blabbing about blab in some ways, if not about individuals and groups trying to get them to move forward. And that's what it all comes down to. If you're just going to spin in circles, that's okay if you need to do that to protect yourself or whatever. But if you really want to do something, you need to do it in unison with other people, whether you know it or not. And part of it is by energy, and the other part is by engagement. A lot of people need this kind of engagement versus just like thinking or feeling across the planet, oh, I'm just going to put positive energy out there and somebody in Botswana is going to feel it. Well, that might be the case. They may not realize where it's coming from. And if we all do that, it's all great. But when it comes to the way that things are in this world, it's so three-dimensional that people don't realize, and they need some guides. And I've been working for 40 years at this to try to get better at becoming a guide for people and groups of people. So that's why, I get so excited about Blab, because it's the first time we can get together. There's nobody telling us what we can and can't say or feel, and the people are being real. And so, now you get authentic, genuine, real human interactions. And this is so lost on humanity in the last number of decades, if not generations, especially in the last 10 or 20 years with technology. So now the technology flips around. And that's why I'm really kind of sad in a way, but I keep putting out positive vibes about Blab going away, getting, not being paid attention to by the Blab team. That are really, I even sent a note out to the guy who paid for all of this, which is Michael Birch, through Facebook a couple of days ago, to kind of have him look at this again, take a harder look at what this means. And that this is not just some experiment like a Bebo or a Catch or something else to try to make some money and then move on. He doesn't need any money. He's got $800 million. So it's more about, do you care about the planet's inhabitants, or do you just want to leave some legacy of some sort, a small legacy? So that's how I reached out to him, and more specific about Blab and so forth. So hopefully that is a long answer to a short question.
Well, like you said, there's no right or wrong. It just is. Thank you for sharing that. Wow, I've learned a whole lot about you just in that little short time.
That was part of the intent, because I know we have not spoken. I've been darting around your blabs and watching you, and that's what I kind of do anyway. But I appreciate, Tiffany, what you do, and Teresah and so forth. And Phoebe, how's your sound? Perfectly bad. Can't hear you. I can hear like a little mouse in the next room. We definitely don't hear any noise right now.
That's a good thing.
How about now? It's better.
A little bit better. You're coming in at about 20 decibels.
Only 20, huh? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
What do you think? Have you found anything else that's like even like Blab? Because I'm having trouble.
Nope.
I'm challenged in that area.
Yeah.
How's the sound now? Is it better or worse?
It's coming back. You're up another 10.
At least it's not echoing this time too.
Yeah, that was
I
wild.
have to play with my gain a little bit.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, you're getting better.
Okay.
Do you have a compression on right now? Because it sounds like it's compressed.
Yeah, I do have compression.
Yeah, back down your compression. Let's see if that either brings back the noise or. So I'm just dealing with that. Yeah, so there's nothing. I mean, looking at Hazan, looking at the two kids over there, and they're over their heads in terms of if they were to try to recreate something like we have here. They're just not there. Plus, some of the things, they don't want discoverability necessarily because they want to keep control over the community. Understand that. You got Fire Talk. You got obviously Facebook Live kicking in, but everybody's kind of feeling their way through all this stuff, and it's funny because people, they come on, Mayor, tell us where to go, and I don't have any yet, still.
Are you asking?
Still watching
now, Cliff? What's the next step? Where do we go?
Yeah, everybody's like, where do we go? Where do we go? And I said, I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see what bubbles up right now. I mean, I would like Michael Birch to get his act together, or someone to come in and swoop in and buy it. The thing is, he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need to sell it off. He isn't looking apparently to shut it down. He put in $8 million. They only burned through $2 million. So and it's disconcerting to watch what they, how they disconnected from the community and never really connected to us. And it underscores where they were coming from, which was there was no real accountability or responsibility to Michael or the money or to make this a viable, longer running concern. And so it was a big experiment. Every day was kind of an experiment for them, and they got tired of it after the Shkreli stuff, and then people were complaining a lot, and a lot of it's just too much overhead. They really didn't want to fix the the basic issues, which were stability.
Did they have,
and
when they started this out, did they have a vision of what they wanted it to become?
No.
No, they just kind of threw stuff up on a blackboard, and whatever came out, came out.
Yeah, whiteboard, and then let's go at it. Let's try this. Let's try that. And all along the way, I was talking with Brittany, and asking her, as Joel Comm did, and Brian Fanzo, and multiple other people, let us tell you what works and what doesn't. Let us give you feedback. And they just weren't having it. So that was their choice, and it's sad. Sad. That's the word that keeps coming up for me, is that it's sad when you have you have humans involved with this experiment. We're not lab rats, and we were putting a lot of time, energy, and focus in our hearts and whatnot. Now we don't, they don't owe us anything, but we did invest here, and they missed that completely. They didn't see our value at all in what was happening here. They missed the gestalt as to what this could be and what it means to our collective future, totally beyond the scope.
Will you do me a favor? I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Can you type in your birthday for me? Because I'm really curious to see what number you are. Your life
what number?
Path. Unless you already know your life path number.
I do not, but I'd rather not put my birth date on here. Because that's a piece of information is used for everything and can be used.
Tweet it to me?
Can I read it to you?
Tweet it to me?
Tweet it. Yes, I can tweet it to you.
Okay,
I will do that.
perfect. Thank you.
All right, that's no problem.
It seems like you're a 9 too, but I'm just really curious.
How's my is it any better? Still saying.
You're not buzzy or anything, I don't think.
Yeah, your sound's good.
Your sound is a little low right now, but I think we're.
All right. And hi, Jean. Thank you for. Am I pronouncing it right, Jean or Sean? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. How are you tonight?
I think I sent that on a DM to you, Tiff.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It came up as an orange egg. I don't know why. I may be on a bad account here. You have open DMs? Yeah, go ahead.
What do you find is the best tool that you have to reach people, to help them connect, besides Blab? Like forgetting about technology and stuff. What do you find is effective when you're trying to connect with somebody?
Are you asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know the full breadth of your answer. Are you talking about internet or just connecting with people?
Just connecting without media, without technical means.
Okay. I have two answers that work for me: is verbal and touch, energy as well. So I think energy is probably a primary, and I think that's one of the reasons why people kind of, when I was changing my show, I had the show with Himmelblau going on since the beginning of the year. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun. And I was changing it up. We were gonna end it, and I was going to start a show of Off the Cliff or something like that, Mayor on the Air. And I asked people repeatedly, what do you want me to talk about? I can talk about health, nutrition, wellness, energy, all kinds of different flow. I can go all different ways. We can talk about tech stuff or not. And it was very interesting answer. They didn't have an answer. They just wanted to, it didn't matter what I was going to talk about. They just wanted to hear me present something that they might get some value out of it. They might not. They might be entertained, might be educated. They just wanted to hear, I guess, the presence, the energy, feel it. Mm-hmm. And that's really cool, because that's really why I'm here.
That's great.
So I embrace that. I love that. And it's not an ego thing at all. I check my ego as much as anybody possibly can to say, I'm not here about me. I'm here about what can I do to inspire? What can I do to move people forward in their quest for whatever they're even finding their quest, much less in their own quest to find it. So kind of peeling back the onion layer, right? Just being there. And a lot of people, have talked to me and over the years and said, you're like, somehow I just feel this rock, like you're okay, you're solid, and they tell me stuff they don't tell their hairdresser, for Christ's sake. It's like I know more stuff, and it's not because I'm a computer guy either. The computer thing is not, I can fix stuff and I can repair things, but it's really about the people. I love the idea of selling blankets, warm blankets in the wintertime in the Northeast. That's what I leave people feeling when I get done with them with my technology, whatever I'm helping them with, helping them feel more comfortable and in their own skin and in their own energy. And they're feeling in sync with the world or whatever they're trying to do. That's when I know I've done a good job. So.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like right. We connect with people. It's kind of like the 5 love languages. Have you heard of that book? It's just how we connect with people. And you said yours is through verbal and touching, and mine is through, definitely touching and affection, and just depth of sharing, openness. But I know that even when I was in the yoga studio and I've never met anybody, my first instinct was to go up to them and hug them. It's my way of connecting instantly before the words. So I even went to a retreat for a week once, and nobody could talk for a whole week. So you're in a room full of 20 strangers for a whole week, and you bond with certain people, even though you've never spoken to any of them. But just energetically, it's interesting how we bond through, just energy. We have no idea of what their story is or what they're like or anything about them, other than just the energy that they give off.
Yeah, and that's a real testament. You put yourself in that situation of being quiet for even an hour or 10 minutes or 5 minutes with yourself, much less with strangers. You really have to be prepared for that and evolved in a way that most people are not today, because they're constantly expecting input. Right. And it's usually through the ears and not just through eyes or through the energy and awareness. Or they've got to be talking to be comfortable, or they got to be eating to push down the feelings. All of the stuff that we have for coping mechanisms out in the world. So
I love that comfortable silence that happens. I have to be by myself. Like I'm not really I'm extroverted, but I definitely prefer to have my alone time. And it's really, really cool that, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about as far as comfortable silence, when you're just either with yourself or when you're with someone else and you don't necessarily have to say anything. You just do be and digest physically.
We've got more noise coming from you than your sound right now again. So it's like a whooshing. Yeah. It's kind of cool, but it's like an ocean spinning around. I'm not even sure how to describe it.
I didn't even know you were talking, Alice. Sorry.
Is it the compression?
No, it's just his background noise.
It's just you have more baseline noise again than you have sound.
Okay, I'm gonna try something else. I'll be back. Sorry about that.
Okay. No, it's all right. We just want to hear you. That's all. We feel you. We feel your energy, but the
intuitions you have about an individual are incorrect after you are finally able to meet them. I definitely have had it. That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
Well, it's just after that silent retreat that I went on for a week.
Wow.
I don't know if it was.
Here we are.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a silent retreat right there.
Yeah.
So did you run my numbers?
I did, and hang on 1 second. I sent you back a message. Okay. And yes, I've had that experience. I kind of believe that we kind of have, we do, at least in my case, have intuition. But when we meet somebody, we know intuitively whether, a little bit about them. And I believe it could be wrong if you're not in the right state of mind or you're not vibrating in that level of connectedness. But yeah, and that's happened to me. Has it happened to you, Cliff?
Yeah. Usually, in my intuition is pretty good. I've been working on that. and getting in sync with what is so for a long time, since before the age of 19, intentionally since the age of 19. Before that, it was kind of, as you know, fly by the seat of the pants, from trying to figure out my family, how to kind of guide the dinner table and keep things calm. All of these things happened early, very early on. So this whole mediation thing was kind of necessary. Me being the solid one in the family, and trying to figure out how to do that dynamically. But anyway, as far as got a pretty good radar about people and the energy. They, like how dogs sense, right? They know right away, without even sniffing anybody, whether there's going to be a problem or not. So I appreciate that example. But yeah, I've had more of it in the past in terms of missing the mark than I have recently. So I'm getting better as time goes on.
Evolving. Awesome.
Evolving, more aware, more in tune with and some of it is, there's a lot of subterfuge out there, and people themselves put up these energy blocks and walls that sometimes you can't even sense it. You get, maybe you get a sense about it, and then you find out some of the behaviors or what they say or how they say it, and then you say, all right, now it's starting to come through. So a lot of people, it isn't an open book situation for a lot of people. They have a lot of protective layers, which makes it more challenging sometimes.
What about you, Teresah? Did you, that's happened to you? You said, but then when you were talking, you got cut off. So.
Oh yeah, no, just at the silent retreat, we broke our silence, our vow of silence, about half a day early. None of us could just hold it in anymore. And we got to chatting with everybody. And honestly, I felt that there was not really any surprises energetically. I felt that I still connected with the same people that I did verbally versus energetically. It's pretty much the same for me.
Awesome. And hello to everybody that just joined. Thank you. And Cliff, I was going to tell you you're Life Path 8, and it completely makes sense because, yeah, I mean, the fact that you're able to be that person that has the influence enough to get people together. And what's really cool about you is you're doing it in the way that it's supposed to be done. Most 8s are all money hungry and power control, and it seems like you've got the right. You're using your life path to your advantage, because ultimately it could become your own undoing if you're not careful.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Right. Yeah, cool. I just saw that, and that isn't my account, by the way. So I signed in. I signed in under one of my old InTensecure accounts, which is my corporation. So.
Okay. Well, at least you have your information.
No, I just grabbed it, so I'm gonna copy it and paste it. Thank you for that.
Yeah. You're welcome.
That's good to know. Good to know.
Yes, and thank you to everybody just joining. Gosh, we're at the hour now that we've been on. Thank you, Charles. Hi, Safe House Studios with Joe, Nikki. Go ahead, Teresah. What were you going to say?
Sorry for interrupting. No, I was just going to say it happened to us last week. We're at the very end of the show, and then a whole bunch of new people just joined on in the last minute or two. And it's hard that we don't have the time. But we're hoping that the people that do just join in will try again next Wednesday night at 7:30 Pacific time. This is Tiffany T and Teresah Lynn, and we're here on the Soul Search Show, trying to help people with with self-awareness, help people with their purpose, give them their life path number with numerology, do card readings, have some enlightening conversations on anything that you'd like to get more information or clarity about.
Yes. Did I type in your website correctly?
Oh, the imprintcoach.com. Yeah, that one's, I'm just starting up, but yeah, you can reach me there. I believe, yeah, I have my contact number already there, but I just started that website. So here's the show.
And if people want to get a hold of you, how would they do it?
They can get, just where you type in the imprintcoach.com, they can reach me there. And how about you, Tiffany? Where can you be reached?
On my website, tiffanyteeworld.com, or tiffany@tiffanyteeworld.com if you'd like to send me an email. The Infinite. I was trying to type in your website, Teresah.
Yeah, it's there. Well, thanks very much. Cliff or Mayor, do I address you?
Cliff.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
It's just my job.
Yeah, and we'll be on. Well, I don't know, Teresah, if you're going to tune in, but I'm doing the gratitude show at 9:30, and then I have the event right after at 10:45. So you're more than welcome to grace us with your presence.
Because I haven't been doing that. Yeah, it'd be great. So Pete just has a final question. What is the life path numerology tip?
That's a good question. In numerology, according to your life path is generated from your birthday, and it's the most important number. You have about 7 key numbers that have to do with the numerological breakdown of your name, as well as your birthday. So your birthday you can't change; it's more deep-setted. In your name you can. So there's other influences around that. But we would love to have you on next week, or you can email me at tiffany@tiffanyteeworld.com. And that's just what I've been studying it for 16 years, and it's something I'm really intrigued with, and I love doing even for fun. So yeah, feel free to email me there if you have any questions or want some more insight. I'd be happy to help out.
Yeah, it's amazing because Tiffany just did my life path number, and I've just been studying it in the last week, and it's just phenomenal what how my life path shows me a little more in depth of what my life purpose is. So it's been a fascinating journey, bringing numerology into my life. Thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah, welcome. It's my pleasure. I don't do it as a business or anything. Like I said, it's just for fun, but I like to help people in any way. And I'm more about spreading awareness and helping people wake up to the fact that, you know, we're all infinite conscious beings, and to realize your human potential. And awareness, I think in my case at least, is where it all starts and begins. So
I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. I'll sign off, let you guys close out the show. And you'll find me at Blab as long as I'm around here at Twitter.
Awesome. All right, Cliff. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks. Take care. It's my pleasure. Bye-bye.
You too.
Have a good night.
So yes, we'll be next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Blab, and we send out our emails and stuff. So if you don't get one, then join us here next Wednesday. Anything else, Teresah?
Nope, just sending out lots of love and joy for everyone watching. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.
Okay, thank you. Just tuned in. Catch us next week, next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m.